Hey everyone, welcome back once again to the Iconist Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Barry 3D Carter. On my side, as always, the man, the myth, the legend. If he's got you dancing, then you're on the right channel. And we are talking about my cousin, my best friend, the one and only, Mr.
DJ Rod C. Welcome in, everyone. We got something for you today. But I won't tell you right now. We'll get into that. Sure.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Because as the saying goes, Rod,
manner maketh the man.
that's exactly it. Manners make it the man. We were raised right. Here we go. So first and foremost, thank you very much for tuning into the Iconist Podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And tell people. Tune in. We're all about, as I said, the fan casting, the talking about anything else in this world that we love. That's from toys to comics and everything else. And we're branching out a little bit more by bit. It's been a while, so we're glad to be back. I'm glad you guys are tuning in and watching the past videos we've been doing on either the unboxings, my Iconist Inner Thoughts, or Iconist Inner Ideas, that playlist that we've got going. Also, our walkthroughs through the antique malls. I've been enjoying those, and I think people have been enjoying those also. One of them are really, really well. That was out in Woodstock, Ontario, the one-of-a-kind antique mall. A lot of fun. I was even there a little bit earlier with my daughter, adding to the collection. Oh, gosh, help the bill. Okay, so on that, as I said, manners make it the man. Remember to support the channel. Also, you got to support the things that we support. So you got to support the comic books. That's the basis of the show. You got to support the comic books that gives us something to talk about. Without you supporting the comic books, they go away. And then the show goes away. And it's, oh no. So, people that support the show is Wild Comics. Check out Wild Comics out in Kitchener. Tell Wes and the guys we said hi. For anyone out in Cambridge, please go and check out A Hero's Tale. Out in Cambridge, tell Andrew and the rest of the guys we said hi. And of course, for our fans or friends out in Montreal, check out Check's Wings. Tell Trevor and the rest of the guys we said hi. These are all stores that we've gone to ourselves, and we've had a lot of fun there. So please keep it going, keep it alive. Thank you very much. On top of that, we've got a huge shout out to the other guys that we are a part of, right? We're a part of the Subculture Podcast Network. It's our show along with 5 other ones that are in this whole realm. And it's anything from Star Wars to Star Trek, the comic books, and ongoing. And I know we keep saying we're supposed to have a collab coming up pretty soon. And that's all. All right. That's all. Okay. It's coming. So that's another one to definitely check out. And of course, you heard about me doing comedy. You can catch me on my website, barry3d.com. That's Barry3D for deep, dark, and delicious. Hey! .com to find out where I'm going to be at, where I'm performing. And on top of it, all the links for this show too, and all our social medias for Barry3D, me, solo, and of course, links and social media for this show. We also have our WhatsApp channel, so please check that out too if you want to kind of get some tidbits here and there. We want to see people's interests and where you want to engage with us the most. On that note, Rod, where can we find you?
You can find me, as I say, on the World Wide Web. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Rod C. You can find me there. Reach out to me, any events or any parties or stuff I'm doing. You can, get the highlights, and you can find me there. You can also find me on Twitch at DJ Rod C. Listen, find me there, pass through, come out to when I'm having my little funs, when I'm playing online. Just say, hey, I saw you on the Iconist Podcast. Welcome in. I'll bring you in. We'll have fun. Let's go. You also can find me on the world of the Tick and the Talk at DJ Rod C1. That's DJ Rod C1. Where you can find me. There you go.
And it's true. And if you roll through there, we go test your knowledge. So if you're rolling through on Rod's channel on when he's playing, and he usually plays, I know guaranteed it's Wednesday nights he plays amongst like another 2 or 3 times
Saturdays,
during the
Sundays,
week.
Mondays, yep, all over.
That's right. And now we testing your days of the week. So if you jump on there and you want to let Rod know that you heard about him on the show, you can send him a shout out, or you put in a request for Saturday Love by Alexander O'Neill and Sherelle. He'll know it was instigated by me, and he'll have a good laugh at that and then choke me when he sees me. Okay.
No joking.
Oh boy. Thank God, Rod, you got the patience of a saint. Right.
Father Mulcahy. Sorry.
And of course, last but not least, we can't forget the hidden member from this team that makes us look so pretty. And I don't mean, Harry's Shave Club or Gillette Mach 3 or Mach 5, whatever it is. I am talking about, I wish they were our sponsors. I wish we are talking about the one and only, the man, the myth, the other man, the myth, and the legend, the one and only
JBird Digital Art.
Mr. Jason Reese, JBird Digital Arts. You tell him that you heard about him on the Iconist podcast, and he will give you a discount on the work. Okay, there we go. I think we've covered it. And if we missed one, sorry, we're a little bit rusty. We're kind of getting back into the flow of things.
We got it.
We got this. It's confidence. It's about confidence. All right. And today on the Iconist podcast, the icon is
Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll, the anime.
Yes, let's be specific. Touche. The anime.
The anime. That right, because there's a lot, which is great. There's a lot. So, we were going through our little anime fix, and we kind of touched off on and anime fix and some other things. And the last anime we had a fix on was Fist of the North Star.
You're right.
And now it's Ninja Scroll. Oh. Ninja Scroll, the anime. And I always turn around, I was like, Rod, what do you want to talk about? And he brought this one up, and I'm like, dog, we're doing it. Here we go. There we go. There's no shame in that. We're going to get back to our fan casting, our typical fan casting. We do, right? But why not? We sometimes got to spread my wings and fly away.
Troop, let's go. Let's go.
All right, here we go. That's right. Troop. I can't sing, but I can dance. Check me. All right, man. So Ninja Scroll, the anime. So Ninja Scroll, the anime, was first released on June 5th of 1993.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini. And it ran for 94 minutes, and it was released in Japan. And of course, and it had its North American debut in 1995. So it came out on our shores in 1995. When it got out, it was distributed by the Tokyo Theaters Company. And this is where it gets sweet. This is where it gets sweet for me. Okay, so the director, it was directed by, and I know I'm gonna mess up the name, so please have a little bit of faith. It was directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Right. Why am I saying this? This is so sweet because he's been around forever. Like currently he's like about 73 years old. He's been in the business from the mid to late 60s. He came in there as an animator. He wanted to do directing, but he started off as an animator because he didn't think that he would have been so good as a director at the time. Now he's done a lot of stuff. So you might have known him from the second Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust. Okay. He's done stuff for the Animatrix. Okay. He's done a whirlwind of stuff. But the one that touches my soul the most is he worked on Gatchaman. Okay, I know it's been a while, but if you haven't if you know my love for Gatchaman, you know my love for Bird Go, Transmute, Battle of the Planet.
Ninja Team Gatchaman.
That's right. We don't talk about Eagle Riders, but Gatchaman or Battle of the Planets, okay, we can talk that all day, every day. You hear me?
Only AD. Got it.
Exactly. He worked on the Lensman, and the Lensman to me was almost like a touch, almost like the Green Lantern Corps. So if you don't know, that was one of his earlier projects. He wasn't so keen on that one, and he always said he wanted to go back and do it. I wish he did, because I would like to see what his updated take on that is. Because that was wicked. He did Wicked City, which is, very, very mature, just like Ninja Scroll. So for anyone, please do not watch these with your kids. Like I'll say, Ninja Scroll was when it came out here, theatrical release, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait till the kids are in bed and then, watch it on your own, along follow with Wicked City. There we go. He worked on Demon City, Wicked City, Neo Tokyo, a Wind Named Amnesia. Now, that one you can watch with your kids. That one was beautifully done and animated. I have that in my own personal collection. And, and then, of course, the OVA. So he worked on Cyber City Odo. That's another one that I really like. OVA, 3 episodes or, 40 minutes or whatever. And it's almost like a Suicide Squad brought to life before Suicide Squad came to life. You hear me? Okay.
Right.
3 criminals working off their sentence, bring it down by working for the police. Yeah, and very Suicide Squad. Either you make it or you don't. Okay. And the list goes on all the ones that he's done. You know, he's done the Batman Gotham Knight. He did the segment with Deadshot. So this guy's work is like amazing.
Yeah.
And goes on. Like I'm just giving you some of the gems that I've come across real quick looking at his list here of body of work. So we're not going to get off topic. So I said this came off Ninja Scroll, and it was done during the Edo period of Japan. Pretty much you have your main protagonist. His name is Jubei. Jubei, you know, it's near the end of the Edo period. So right now, you know, as ninjas are kind of getting phased out, and they use like true historical events, and then they kind of interweave their story a little bit with mysticism. It's sexualized. It's got like over the top action. And, you know, from us as maybe it didn't do so well in Japan when it first got released because it might have seemed like it was a little bit cartoonish. And I know it's an anime, but hear what I mean by this. How we see our cowboys, we see them as very stoic figures, cowboys and Indians. That was the history. You always heard this. I'm not, you know, you hear the history. That's what kids used to play back in the day. Classic cowboy movies, they were seen a certain way, weren't over the top. But then if you go over to Asia, their version of cowboys was very over the top of how they carried on. So, you know, it was very exaggerated for them. In Japan, it was, we call them ninja, but over in Japan, they were known as shinobi. You had your samurais who went with a strict code and didn't go against that code. And then you had the shinobi, which we call ninja. And the shinobi didn't go with that code. And they were your modern day, you know, if you had to make them equivalent, they were the assassins, your
mercenaries.
Your mercenaries, your spies back in the day was a shinobi. They had no code of honor as a samurai would see it. So since they had no code of honor, they were kind of looked down. They were your black ops. That was
by
it.
any means necessary, get the job done.
Get the job done. So Jubei, we pick up this ninja scroll, and the story starts off with Jubei turning around. And when he starts off, it's near the end. So in that Edo period, near the end, everyone's kind of phased out. He's now no more with a clan, because usually you had you'd have your local shogun who was running that area. He would have his samurai, and then in the back end, each one had their shinobi or ninja, just in case they needed to get some dirty work done, some black ops done. Let's just call it that way. At this point, he's kind of they're dispelling all of them, has disbanded all of them. So when we catch Jubei, who's the main protagonist of the story, it's at the very beginning, the beginning of the story, he's already not with a master, no more with a shogun clan. He's just solo, and he's a sword for hire.
Pretty much.
Right. And it didn't do well over there, but over here, we hear the word ninja, and a lot of time back in the day, especially in the 90s, it's like, ninja? Did you say ninja? He's a ninja. You know what I mean? That's when we went from Storm Shadow. Okay, Storm Shadow was a ninja in G.I. Joe. Everybody knew that. But then it came out that, issue number 21, the silent issue, it came out that Snake Eyes went from being just a commando who was kind of cool to being a ninja. And I mean issue number 21 of Marvel, Marvel issue 21 of G.I. Joe, the silent issue. There's no words in it. Larry Hama did a great thing of putting that together. Storm Shadow goes to Destro's castle, saves Scarlet at the very end. He gets a cut on his arm that opens up his glove, and you see he's got the same shaggy, I know I'm mispronouncing it, tattoo that Storm Shadow has. And everyone was like, hold up.
What was that? What am I watching? What am I looking at? What am I looking at?
Yeah,
what am I seeing?
Exactly.
What am I seeing?
So the 90s was heavy ninja influence. Wolverine fought the ninjas, henceforth the Hand. Everyone was fighting ninjas. So, Wolverine fought ninjas. Daredevil fought the ninjas, which was the Hand again. Those ninjas were everywhere. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting the Foot Clan. So we had the Hand, we had the Foot. There was ninjas for every body part, I guess there was. Ninja Scroll just spoke to everybody. I think it got released right time. Everyone went, you know, we got a ninja. Yeah, everyone had a ninja on their team or someone with ninja qualities. You had Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. I'm like, that was another comic book. That's a hit off of left field. That's a deep cut right there. So yes, this is where it came out. And then of course you're watching movies. You know, you had Ninja, you know, and then you had the other movie. Like, I mean, most recently it was a Ninja Assassin that came out a few years ago.
Right. Yep.
Live action. And once again, it was it's like almost watching a modern day version of Ninja Scroll-ish with how they took them. So when I was making the reference to the cowboys and everything, how the Japanese love cowboys and that culture, and they kind of made them bigger than life. We in North America took the Shinobi, changed it to Ninja, and made that bigger than life, right? Up to today, there's a lot of secrecy around it. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around it. When you see Ninja, we see them as bigger than life. Like Batman went from being trained to everybody to Batman somewhat had ninja training. And that was even going back to Batman, the animated series. It was literally called Night of the Ninja, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So ninjas to us has that cool mystery, conspiracy theory, larger than life, dealing with maybe a little bit of mysticism behind it. And that is why it was such a huge hit. A lot of people watched this probably for the first time and went, oh, now I get why ninjas are cool. Aha. There was a jumping on point for a lot of people. So, and myself included, I was already in this stuff because of martial art movies and everything. So when they said ninja, you had me hook, line, and sinker. I was a mark, as they say in Western. I was a mark. You write ninja on it, I would stop and take, right. I'm okay. Pray for death, like ninjas. Okay, there we go. All right, Rod. What's your whole?
My hold on Ninja Scrolls is, you're right. At the time, the theme, the genre of ninjas was predominant. Everybody had studios and people was basically knowing this is the next niche. This is the next niche. This is the next thing that will bring people in. We'll have more marks out there if we start promoting ninjas. And you're right. I might as well call myself a mark as well. But anything with action in that particular limelight, from karate, kung fu, ninja, that kind of scenario, that kind of genre always pulled me in. So Ninja Scrolls was definitely an iconic take back then. In the early 90s, you had a certain amount of anime, a certain amount of movies and shows that kind of brought it to light, but it was still kind of very, very hidden in the sense of, wow, did you get to see Ninja Scrolls? Did you see that? Because not a lot of people were into that. So you became like a small little clique, a little elite amount of people who enjoy that genre. And I definitely was one of them. So this was one of those movies that I will say may not have taken off a big hit to people in the beginning, because some people did. But over the time, that movie had turned into a cult classic that I'm happy to say that I was one of the early ones who said, yeah, no, this is a good movie. I can sit down and watch this. And just give you the nice little highlights of the intricacies of what a ninja would have portrayed, how they would, carry themselves in the Hindu times. That to me was like, ooh, very, you're opening a book of history and seeing how it plays out to you. You're like, so this is how they carry themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be one too.
Exactly. And as you put it,
give me the shoes. I'm good.
You're good, right? You're right. Like, as you put it, it'd be a small group of us in school, and you'd be like, yo, man, did you see Ninja Scroll? Did you rent it on the weekend? Yeah, man, I rented it on the weekend. And you're in a small group, and in that group talking about Ninja Scroll, it almost made it seem like we're in our own little group of secretive, anime watchers talking about Ninja Scroll and other things like that. And most people are walking by, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. It was like almost like, we were our own ninja clan within, okay.
Keep going. Nothing to see here. You don't know the secret handshake.
Keep on going.
These are not the droids that you're looking for. Keep walking. Keep walking.
So let's break down some things here. So originally,
Mm.
so I know we can hear us say, so there's two kind of versions. So you had Ninja Scroll, the movie, and then there was Ninja Scroll, the series. So Ninja Scroll, the movie that we're talking about, right? OVA.
Right.
And so OVA stands for original video animation. So that's what those three letters stand for. So a lot of times, if you in the world, but if you just kind of, this is your gateway, is like, what does OVA stand for? Original video animation. This is exactly why it came out as OVAs. It means someone created it, came out with it, didn't exist before. Boom, here it is. Put it out, right? Or a new reboot concept of, whatever it could be, just making its first appearance that way. And unlike what we have here in North America, we do a lot of big releases, a lot of trailers for anything, TV shows to movies. Cartoons in North America now, yes, they're seen more not just for kids. But if you go back to the 90s, cartoon, the stigmata behind animation in North America around the 90s and before was, oh, it's just for kids. It's just for kids. It's just for kids. But overseas, it was seen differently. It was seen, these things came on during prime time. They were marketed for adults. So they have their kids' cartoons, but then they would market a whole set for young adults to adults to say, hey, because overseas, it's up for everybody. It didn't have this thing of, oh, just because it's automatically drawn, that it's just a kid's thing. Like Disney turned around, good or bad, and everyone saw a Disney cartoon, and then everyone's thinking Disney, so Walt Disney, Looney Tunes, and it's just for kids. And they would put some comments or humor in there that if you got older as an adult, you're like, oh, that's still funny. I didn't realize that that's what they were saying when I was a kid, but now as an adult, I got it, right? They didn't have to hide anything. Overseas, it was, no, if it's for adults, oh, it's for adults. There's adult themes in there. There's adult scenarios in there. It is strictly for an older mindset. And it didn't have that whole thing of, oh, it's only on for Saturday mornings and after school when kids are home. No, it was on during prime time. So that is the main thing. So the story with our main guy, Jubei. So as I said, Jubei is a sword for hire. He's walking on his, opening scene. He's walking on the bridge. He's minding his business. And then he kind of gets into a situation where someone needs help, or he almost gets jumped and someone needs help. So he goes in there. So the whole thing is you have the main guy from the Yamashiro clan. They're mining gold in secret, and they want to send payments over to another shogun. So when they want to send these payments over to Shogun, it's all undercover. They're trying to kind of take it illegally, right? All undercover. And then someone finds out about it. And, you have other people in there. So one's like, I guess, a shady government official. He wants this to stop. But at the same time, he wants to, enlist Jubei, because Jubei is like that popular, that he's that dang good. And wants to get him on there and says, no, I'm not sure about this. And he gets in there with the other ninjas on the other side, the 8 devils, and he has to go through all of them, and they all have each their own unique powers and how they do things. So some of them are magic, some are practical, some are just downright creepy and nasty, but it fits all together. This is a full-out action sequence. So pretty much hired gun, government official wants to enlist them, Jubei saying no. There's wrong happening from one shogun to the other one, doing some shady dealings, stealing the gold from the people that should be used for the people. Politician is, put it this way, the politician should be using the money for the people. He's not. He's making an underhanded deal and transporting the gold to someone else. And then you have your people he has to encounter along the way. So that is really the basic version of Ninja Scroll right there. Now when the whole thing starts,
yeah. So this is where we have to make not the disclaimer, but let you know from this point on, this is not for your kids. If your kids are mature, pull them up. If you think they may not be able to handle it, this is why you do some recon. Watch it first, then come back and watch it a second time with the kids. But watch it by yourself first. Why?
That's right.
Well, there's a couple of actions throughout the whole movie that makes you say, "Whoo!" Now that's what it is to be a ninja.
That's right. Let's put it this way. If you won't watch Ninja Assassin with your kids for the gore, then you're not going to want to watch Ninja Scroll with your kids. And I know we're stressing that a lot. We just want to make sure we're out there. I'm tired of seeing people. I was in a store one time. Exactly. I was in a store one time years ago, and Grand Theft Auto came out, and this young kid came in there with his grandmother. You know, I'm not sure if it was the grandmother or the mom, and literally, you heard scenarios, but I couldn't believe it was playing out. He wanted to get the new Grand Theft Auto that came out at the time. This kid was maybe about 10, 11 years old, and he's carrying on bad. I want that's the one, that's the one, that's the one. And she's like, well, I don't know, dear. Grand Theft Auto. People say it's kind of violent. Oh, Mom, that's the one I want to play. I played it at my friend's house. What's the problem? What's the problem? I played it already. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then she goes to buy it at the counter, and he's all like really entitled. And she's still buying it, and she can tell she's unsure. And even the cashier is looking like, okay, so you're buying this game. Who's game for? Oh, it's grandmother. It's for my grandson. My grandma, I want to get it. You know? And she's like, well, he wants to get it. And even the girl, the cashier, is like, are you sure? And then the grandmother looks at me, and I'm like,
just gonna say without saying.
I'm like, okay, if you want to grab it for little Timmy over there who's acting entitled and stuff like that, little Timmy shouldn't be playing Grand Theft Auto. But hey, who am I to judge what you do in your household, right? Like,
I'm just trying to buy my copy.
Right? You do you. But
hilarious.
Don't turn around years later and say, well, video games caused my son to do this or my grandson to do this. No. It even says on there, 17 and over. But you didn't listen. Okay. That's all I got to say. So I like to do my due diligence. So that's what it comes down to. So he fights now. So, Jubei gets in there. And the first kind of scenario, if I remember correctly, it's a while since I've seen this. He crossing a bridge. One guy goes to attack him. Okay, we got our opening sequence with the ninjas and so forth. That. And then he comes across a girl getting sexually assaulted. Right? And he turns around and says, nope, not on my watch. I'm going to do something today. And he gets in there with the fight of this one guy to stop this from going on. And the two of them start going back and forth. And I mean, it's a graphic fight scene. So, I mean, first of all, it's very sexual theme. She's getting sexually assaulted. I mean, she's almost half naked. This guy is like licking her face. It's like, ew. And then Jubei gets in there and he plays the hero and is like, okay, well, this one's a freebie. I usually get paid for this stuff, but I still have my moral code. So even though he's a ninja, he's got his moral code of what's right and wrong. And he interferes right away, stops what was going on. Then the guy goes to attack him. And then, well, the fight is on. And he gets the girl's admiration. And now keep in mind, she's not a damsel in distress because she is a powerhouse herself too.
Mm-hmm.
But he got the better upper hand. I believe this is the guy with the stone skin at the very beginning.
I believe so too. Yeah, that should be him. That should be that one.
Yes, so he's got a double-bladed sword. So he's got the handle in the middle, sword edge on one side, sword edge on the other side. Very much like Darth Maul with a double lightsaber. So that's what it is. He's able to throw it, it spins like a frisbee so he can cut people and he can pull it back. It's got a string attached to it, so it always comes back to his hand. All right, but he turns his skin, like he's already a big, impressive guy, like how they draw him, very big and muscular. He's a ninja, and he's able to turn his skin into stone. So it's almost like the Colossus effect from X-Men, where he turns from flesh to metal. He does it to stone, and then he starts going at him. So every attack that Jubei is doing just kind of slips right off of him. Can't do nothing. And then Jubei gets smart about it. He's like, hey, I guess you gotta have a soft spot somewhere. Whips out a couple of these little thin pen needle, like little needle darts, and juke him in the eye. And he's like, shoot,
I gotcha.
And then, of course, the girl that he's forcing himself on, gets into play because she's a ninja herself, but her whole body, she deals with poisons and toxics.
Yes.
She's done it so much and ingested a little bit that she's made herself immune to any poison known to man. But nobody can touch her because her skin just gives off. Any contact with her gives off the poison. So it's almost like a rogue scenario where she can't touch nobody, but she wants to be loved and touched. So now that's missing from her life. And at the same time, you touch her. It's not like you touch her and you lose and she absorbs her power. You touch her and die. And then during this whole thing, Jubei gets poisoned himself. So Jubei's trying to find a cure for the poison in his system. he's working with the other ninja. I can't remember her name right now, trying to, overcome this. And they got this other shady guy for the government who's trying to enlist their help to stop the wrongdoings that are going on.
So the other ninja, her name was Kagero, and the other shady ninja that he was accompanying, there were three of them at that point, was Dakuan.
Right. Now, once again, he's a ninja himself, short little old man, a little bit of a perv, making all those kind of sexual innuendos, but and he's kind of comic relief, not exaggerated, but at the same time, he's still comic relief, but he's smart. Like you can tell, even though he'll make a joke or little comments, you always get the sense that he knows more than what's going on.
Right.
Don't let the jokes fool you. As I tell people, don't let the smile fool you. If you're gonna be a bad man, you're gonna be a bad man. Don't let the smile fool you. And that's how he gets through this whole scenario. I would say definitely has to be watched. So as they're going through this, they all have their motivation. One is for the government, one is looking for love, the other one's trying to find a cure for his own poison. And they kind of team up as a ragtag band of heroes. I love that line. When was the last time you watched Ninja Scroll, Rod?
I will admit it has been easily over 15 or 20. Over 15 or I would say a low 15, maybe a high 20. But I was making sure I checked a couple of highlights just to get my memory on point of what it was. And I will say this. Watching Ninja Scrolls, you have to understand the time and the era of when this was made. There's a lot of action, a lot of innuendos, like as we mentioned.
Yeah,
but if you watch it,
Edo period,
Edo period and everything like that. But you got to look at it from the Edo period, because if he's a lone ninja. He's by himself. He's very quiet. He's very focused, doing what he has to do. So there's not always a lot of verbal communication in the movie. So it may just seem like there's a lot of action. There's not a lot of, discussion going on. But you got to look at it from that standpoint. He's a lone person. He doesn't really talk to anybody. He's just here. He's a hired man. He's a man for hire. He's a shogun for hire type of scenario. He just does what he got to do, get the job done, get paid. I'm out. The government person was trying to get him to do some kind of work. I mean, also helping out, and I'm going to promise you like 100 bags, 100 gold coins for the next task. And he's like, I don't know, because he knows, like Barry said, he's telling me stuff, but he's not telling me stuff. There's something there he's not trying to tell him. He's trying to hold back. Part of the whole process is, in back of those days, again, a lot of the thought process is having like a major boss. You're going from a next boss to a next boss, a next boss. There's supposed to be, I think like six or eight different type of leaders that he's not supposed to defeat, but in just getting to the end of his task or whatever he's trying to do, there's like six or eight bosses, type of like devils as they're called, and he's just going through them, and the process is just he's going through all these individuals. And it's just like, I fight, I meet up, whatever, it's fighting. Finish, you go to something else and realize, I'm still on the trailer trying to find a cure for this poison, trying to figure this stuff out, trying to help this lady, Kujo trying to find, her task, trying to help her on her mission, and helping the older gentleman as well, the older ninja, to get at his task as well. So you're going to watch it and you may think it's there's not a lot of movement in dialogue. It's a lot of action, dialogue. It's pertaining to the character, and you'll understand it makes sense that he doesn't talk so much per se.
Absolutely.
That's the thing, because I see people, when I'm checking back on this, I'm seeing people looking at it right now and they're like, I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like thinking, you're not thinking of the time period of when it was happening. When it was happening, this is the 90s, and ninjas were we understood ninjas to be not even seen, silent, not seen. So if you see one of few things. You're not in his list. He's letting you see him. You're not in his list. He's letting you see you. You're not in his list. If you were on his list, you wouldn't see him. You wouldn't see him. You wouldn't see him. So it's just as I say, mind your business. Get your fruit. Get your fruit. Go to the village. Go to the market. Get your fruit and keep walking. Don't make no eye contact. You make no eye contact. Just yeah. Mind your business. Mind your business. And we know where that's from.
That's right. Mind your business. Mind your business.
Business.
So, and to your point, so Jubei does he gets poisoned. So he doesn't get poisoned during the fight. He gets poisoned by the other guy, Dakuan.
Yes.
Dakuan.
Sorry, yes, that's right. Yes.
He poisons him because he tries to buy him and he realizes that's not working. So he poisons him and then says, "Hey, you do this by a certain time for me to finish this mission. You didn't want to take the money? Well, I poisoned you and I got the antidote."
The antidote.
Sure. So they get together and they go through. Now, on their journey, they come across, as you put it, the other 8 devils. So they fight one at the very beginning. They get another one. Of course, the village is dried up. There's a plague going around. They got to deal with that. The two that stand out for me the most is there's the one that has like the hornet. He's got like a hunchback, and when he takes off, you see it's a bunch of hornets or spiders, or there's a bunch of hornets.
Wasp and hornets and something along that line.
Yeah. And it looks like it's always embedded in his skin, like the hive is embedded in his skin.
It is.
Like,
it is.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Now. And then there's another lady they fight, and everyone's probably see her in the trailers. She's got a tattoo head to toe, and it's got like it's a snake. But at some point, when she starts attacking, she's going, things kind of change, and the snake's tattoo comes to life off her body, and they go to attack whoever her victim is.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings into the magic of the ninja. Like I know I touched on it before, because they're shrouded in mystery. I know it's a cliche saying, but it's true. Mm-hmm. In North America, we think ninjas can run up walls. Sure, where they trained to be light-footed, not be seen, strike, from the back in darkness.
In the shadows. Work in the shadows.
The shadow warriors, right? And then a successful ninja is one you never knew was there.
I'm saying, if you see him, he's letting you be seen. He's letting you be seen. You're not on his list.
You're not on his list.
You're not on his list.
Right?
You're good. Keep on.
Yeah, saw a ninja today. Ooh, did you see a ninja doing anything? No, he was walking by. You're not on the list. All right.
You're not on the list.
Go to the fish market, tell Archie-chan that everything is good.
Yeah, let me get that red snapper.
Right?
Get it to go. I got no time to waste. Get it to go.
Don't hang out. That's not a day to go drinking sake. That's a day to just go home. So, because we see them that way, we, so let's go back to the dialogue part. You say, okay, there's not a lot of dialogue in there. If you look at points or movies, which is the lone gunman mentality.
Yes. Perfect.
The lone gunman never speaks.
This is it.
No one knows much about his past. And I say him, usually is played by male, at the time. No one knows where they're going. They just know they have a moral compass. They come in there, there's something they have to do. Classic movie is Blood and Bone, for more in the recent side. If you look at Blood and Bone with Michael J. White, he comes in there, very little of his past. 2 sentences. He shows up in this town to help out a friend, ex-wife, because he was in jail. He came out for whatever reason, never knew why he was in jail. Opening sequence happens with him in jail just before he gets released. He gets to the town to show up to the widow's, his friend's wife's house. She's a widow. He's like, hey, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to help you out. She's got 2 kids. Realizing there's things going on in the neighborhood. She needs some money because she's being kind of like blackmailed and pressured from different various angles. He's like, I got this. He doesn't say much. He goes out, do some of these things, does what he has to do, fight the main guy. All right. At the end of the movie, good movie, really good movie, and walks away. Don't know much about him. Lone gunman mentality with martial arts.
The concept, you have to think of it on if you're going to make it a modern terms type of thing. So Barry brought a good point. Let's reverse it from the other end. Now the people or the investigators, the police or anybody, detectives coming like, so there was a man who came to the market. Yeah. What can you tell me about him? I don't remember him. What do you mean I don't remember him? He barely spoke. He came and got his red snapper fish and he was gone. Can you tell me anything about him? Any distinction mark? No, I don't remember him. That's what they want. That's basically the idea of a lone gunman, a lone ninja, a lone individual. You may see me, but you really don't see me. I just blend in, blend out. And that's one of the key, I have to believe that is one of the key skills, the key characteristics of a person of his nature, of his job, what he needs to do. If I want you to see me, you'll see me, but you just think I'm just a common person just walking through. Nope. If I don't want you to be seen, if I don't want to be seen, you never knew I was there. I tap you on the shoulder. What?
Exactly. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, and then of course, everyone, as I said, so this is why the whole magic thing kind of, I guess it appeals more to North American audiences than it does to audiences in Asia. Then it goes into the main person that he's fighting, which is this person named Gemma. So Gemma turns around and gets into a fight with Jubei at the very beginning, early on in the movie. Him and Jubei go back and forth in a full-out, well-choreographed fight. Jubei decapitates him in the fight. Head gone flying one way, body go the next way. Everything's shown. Okay, great. And then when you get to the end of the movie, you find out that Jubei has asserted so much control over his body that even decapitating him, he was able to reattach his own head and he didn't die. You see the cut mark across the throat, or across his whole head, and he reattaches it. And Jubei's like, what? Like, this guy has immortality. That's what he's looking for, is immortality. During the fight, near the end, he loses an arm, he picks up the arm, he reattaches it. I'm like, what? Dark magic.
That's some good herbs, man. He's getting some good herbs and good tea. I'm thinking he's drinking some good herbal tea. I'm just saying.
Good herbal tea with rhinoceros horn, and I don't know, tiger testicle tea. I don't know. I mean, keep in mind, I say these things not to be insensitive. I'm just a comedian. I'm just thinking, I'm having fun. Okay, all right then. We all need these notes. So that's what he comes into, and that's what he has to deal with, is this whole thing. So Gemma's the last of these evil ninjas, as I call them, or shinobi. Mm-hmm. He works his way up. So once again, simple storyline. Good guy rescues girl, gets manipulated by government official, having to stop another shadier government official, work his way up. So, you can get influences from anything like not Game of Thrones. Sorry, Bruce Lee, Fist.
Fist. Enter Dragon?
No. Game of Death.
Oh, Game of Death. Sorry. Yeah, right.
Bruce Lee, Game of Death.
Right.
Game of Death. He gets, at the very end, he gets into a building. He has to go up level by level, fighting these main guys till he gets to the bad guy. Game of Death.
Same.
So it's the Game of Death vibes. It's, as I said, blood and bone vibes. It is the vibes of, what's the other one I had it in my head? Oh, the Raid. The first one, the Raid.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. That always see. Wow. So this is where Jubei comes in. So he fights his way through it. I mean, he fights his way through. He gets there. He finds Gemma. Okay, Gemma's body. Every time he slices a part off of it, he just reattaches it mid-fight because he's got that, total control over his body, and he's good to go. No stitches needed. Like, this is a man that does not need OHIP or Medicare or any kind of government insurance
assistance. Plan. Nope, none whatsoever. I'm good. I'll be right back. All right, we're good. Huh?
Exactly. Don't worry about it. So he goes through all this, and then at the very end, spoiler, here's the end to it, is he gets into a fight on a big boat. Like, it almost looks like, the classic old school, I'd call it pirate ships, right? He's got one of these boats. He's got his clan of minions, Gemma running it back and forth, again, bringing bags of the bars of gold on there. And then a fire breaks out on the ship. And Jubei's able to fight him, push him. He falls into the melted gold. So Gemma gets encased in the gold as the ship is sinking. He's sinking. Guess what? Now nothing's cut. He's just encased in gold. He can't break out of that molten gold shell as he's going right down into the ocean. Yeah, that's it. You can't cut him, drown him. Should have done that to Wolverine a long time ago, right? Like, people think, nothing can drown. Okay, yeah, have Colossus hold his breath and sit on top of Wolverine. Yeah, that he recover from that, Logan. Okay. Not that, I think they make Wolverine a little bit, his healing factor a little bit too strong. So that's how we coach that.
Yeah.
Now, could Ninja Scroll, the anime holds up. And I know there's an animation, right? There's like a 13 episode anime series.
Yep.
Flushes it out a little bit more. Same characters, same villain, same thing like that. Let's say even before getting to Gemma, like Jubei realizes that he's fighting, he's with the girl there, and she gets mortally wounded and she's about to die, and all she wants is one kiss. Jubei figures, well, I'm poisoned anyway. There's nothing I can do because I'm not getting this antidote before his big fight. So he turns around and he gives the girl one kiss. He figures, I'm poisoned. What's more poison going to do to me? And guess what? He gets her kiss finally from somebody because they both earn each other's respect and admiration, and they start to have feelings for each other. He dies in his arms, but because she's so full of poison herself that when she kisses Jubei, it negates the poison in his system. It takes it all away. He's fully healed. If he kissed her at the beginning, he would have been fine. But nope, that only came out during the end. And our little man, the government official, he knows this, right? Dakuan knows this, and he's like, see? He's like, you knew this? He's like, of course. He was the antidote. I knew she was the antidote. Yeah. He was the puppet master.
There you go. He's not telling. He's telling stuff. He's not telling everything. He knows stuff.
He knows stuff.
He knows stuff.
What? Come on now. So that's Ninja Scroll in a sense. Now the anime, still classic. The OVO, the OVA, still classic. The anime series, still classic. And of course Hollywood likes to always redo things. So here's my thing, Rod.
Sir.
Okay, let's get down to some points. How would you redo? This channel's always about it, right? So we want you, of course, to watch and support the original. Would you redo the original? And if so, how would you want to redo it?
I would like it to be redone. Now, because I knew most likely this conversation was going to come later on, that's why I made the little insert earlier that the way it was done in 93 and the way of a ninja was known to be very loner, you don't talk any much, whatever the case would be. That's where it was good then. I would like to have it redone. I would like it live. I would like to have, sort of like the series, flush it out a little bit more. Flush out the storyline a little bit more, get a little bit more into his character, have some type of a little in-depth on his history, who he was, flashbacks or anything like that, a little into what put him into position to be a lone man on the road by himself. What was it? I think it was mentioned, but it definitely wasn't fleshed out. But to show his moral compass, something must have negated him from saying, you know what? There's a line I will cross, and there's a line I will not cross. And it must have been something that he was like, I was right there, and I'm like, nah. This is one time I'm going to put my foot down. If you do this, if you don't do it, you're out. I guess I'm out. And whatever the case it was, I would love to find out what it was and how that brought back into the story on later on that brings him to the point where he has the same or something so similar to that line that he couldn't cross. And it will still show him as being an honorable man who may have been ousted from his clan, his group, for whatever reason. He will still show, I'm still an honorable man, that I won't take advantage, or my moral compass is still high, that I will not disrespect my teachings and my upbringing, what brought me to this level of being who I am as a ninja. So I would definitely like to have that, have some fun. And nowadays we would be able to have the visual effects and bring out what it is that what we saw in the cartoon, in the anime back then. because there's a couple of parts that you start to break down that all these individuals that they are high quality fighters. There were definitely, like, we were bringing back two characters. I remember two characters as well. There was one, again, pulling back from the ninja aspect of it, like they work in the shadows. There was the one that was with the grappling, with the chain and the hook and everything like that.
Yes.
And any fighting that particular person, he now looks like, he started to act like, oh my goodness, I can see him from the Justice League with the black hat, who moves into the shadows. Who's a Young Justice. It's a character. I don't know if we ever did that character. Basically, he has the ability to kind of like blend into the shadows and just kind of like disappear. So that was a concept that
you mean. Okay, right, okay, yes.
You know who I'm talking about, right? With the black hat.
He wears a top hat, right?
Yes.
Skinny guy.
Yes.
The Shroud. Is it Shroud? I can't remember. So many heroes. My name. I know. I can see the look, and I know
exactly. I can't remember. Anybody remembers? Please put it in the comment below. Just to refresh the old brain. Refresh the old brain. The gray matter's working. The gray matters need to work. But it showed the mystery and giving us the understanding that, again, is it magical? Is it not magical? Is a ninja magical or not? Because at least from the visual aspects of the movie, he's working the shadow. So if the shadow was literally only up to here, it's pure light, and there was a cross beam or something from above, and the shadow was right here, this person actually worked in this area, and he did whatever, come out of the shadow, and then disappear. Like, yo, how'd you do that? So it's just showing the elements of a ninja. That was great. Also, there's another one where he was fighting someone in the woods, and if I remember correctly, that individual was blind.
Yes.
And he was fighting with sound. Listen to the ear. So he's listening for, I can hear where you are. I know where you are. I can hear you. And whatever the case may be. And he's now running through the woods, blind, but he can run through the woods and not fight, avoid attack, pallet attack, and avoid running into a tree. That's skill. I'm sorry to say. That's skill. I take these off. I can still see. But, he has nothing. He has nothing. And he can avoid. What just happened over there? Who hit me? Then he starts acting like, like Chris Tucker, like, who kicked me? Who kicked me? Who kicked me? Nah, can't be having it. So we're showing an aspect of that. So I would love to have that all done live, so we can get that feel, that, Crouching Tiger type of, again,
yes,
it's done. It's been done. So, and Crouching is how old now? So you imagine that happening. Imagine Ninja Scrolls nowadays. Yeah, we can write up. I'm sure someone can write up a good story, come with some good, some good context, and give a good storyboard of what to see. I feel that it can be done. All that to say, live, please. Okay, I'm done.
All right, so you're going live. Okay, I agree with you on that one. I hear you. So yes, we've got the
we got the anime already. In my mind, we already got the anime. I don't want to touch that. That's a classic. No. Don't touch that.
No.
Don't even try to reprint it. As much as it'd be great, sure, I want a richer red of blood. Like, upscale it. I want to see. No. Just leave it as it is. It just show me this is what it was back in the days. This is the Sacred Scroll. And the funny thing is, I remember someone kind of pointed out, which is true. It's all about ninja scrolls, and there's no scrolls. So in reality, this is a story. This is a story from time. That's how I look at it. It's a ninja scroll. It's a scroll. It's a story written in scrolls. So I don't want to update it, because you're very delicate with that scroll. You're like, you got the white gloves on. You're like, just to make sure, and just sacred. Don't touch the anime. Don't touch the anime. Let's go for real life. That's how I look at it.
Okay. Here's my take on it. So I agree with you. No animation. We're good. Been there, done that, done well. No need to redo it.
Right.
I'm gonna go. It has to be one. It's got to keep the theme, so it's got to be very adult oriented.
100%.
It's got, live action. I agree with you on that one. And I want it streaming service.
This guy's one more. He wants blood and gore across the pages for weeks to come. This
Yes.
man, you just want to rowboat canoe through blood. This is what you're telling. This is what you're telling me.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I woke up this morning and I chose,
We're going for a fun time.
absolutely. So, and I will explain why.
Mm.
Because if I'm going with a streaming service, because the movie, I don't think movies get, unfortunately, since COVID, they don't get the push they should be getting. People are now gotten used to staying at home, watching their entertainment instead of going out to the movies, which is a shame. I enjoy still going to the theater and watching it. Okay. But if I want this to be as successful as possible, I need a streaming service. Now, when I say streaming service, it cannot be on Disney. Cannot be on Disney, right? We're talking either Netflix or we're talking Amazon. I know. I mean, I know there's Apple TV, there's Paramount, there's other ones, and I'll tell you why I'm making my choices there because what I've been seeing. So, and Amazon is putting out like original products that are, very in your face, and they're covering ancient. So or Crave TV. I mean, we just had, the Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. That's wow. Okay, that's like HBO, and of course they're right. So I know I'll never get on TV, but a streaming service. Now I know they got the Rings of Power on Amazon. Yeah, Citadel on Amazon.
Yeah,
Netflix has had their series, so it's gonna be one of those two. I probably lean more to Amazon because it seems that Amazon is giving way to more of the graphic stuff.
Yes.
Could be wrong.
Yeah. The boys, Invincible.
Yeah.
So right. So I fully agree with you on that. If you're gonna go streaming, Amazon may be the topper. But Netflix, hey, prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong. We're good.
Just put us in there somehow. Just put us in there somehow. That's all we ask.
Thank you. That's all we asking, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's how I would see this play. Because the way I see it is you want to respect what is done, but you want to say, well, how much further can I take it? Can I take it further steps? And I think it can be done. People might like my idea and people might not like my idea, and that's okay. We're all allowed to speak and say it, and let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and let's have a discussion. That's all it is. We keep it respectful, and that's fine. That's what a discussion is supposed to be, right? So first, I can see this as either a two, I would love to say 3 parts. 3 parts.
Okay.
All right. First one, going back to what you're saying, scroll. There's no scroll in there. So it's got to be telling the story, and stories are written on scrolls. Back in the day, anything important in history was written on a scroll. Someone has to see it, to read it, to tell the story. So let's go through. Here's how I do it. First movie, do it almost to the first OVA of Ninja Scroll. You get your actors, you do it live action. It takes place in, during the Edo period of Japan. Let's get some nice visual effects, of where it would be, go through there and then really get into the culture, the mindset during that time period.
Okay.
Almost replay it to what it would be. Okay. Then at the end of the movie, have someone turn around and the scroll's open. You see them close the scroll.
Yep. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
But who's closing the scroll? And when you look at it, it's going to look like, wait a minute, are we in modern times? Are we today? Is someone today reading the scroll and the adventures of Jubei back in the past?
Very nice.
Sure. Because there's one thing that we all know. Bloodline. Strong bloodlines. Let that scroll pass down from family member to family member to family member, retelling the story of their great grandfather or great uncle or some kind of connection that way.
Okay. Oh yeah, I just had a visual to that. What you can do is season 1, you do like you're doing. Season 2 and season 3. Now we're going into, again, at the end of the anime, we just see him basically turning back into just a lone person walking by himself. All right. Second season is another story. Another, we don't know what it is. So now you have a template, you have an idea. What I would say is to, have the fun of, and bear with me now, adding on to this, the visual like Avatar. When you saw like the land, you saw the land up. So you could basically say you could map out his story. This is the ventures he went when he went to the north, the adventures, whatever the case would be. And let's just say he happened to walk back, and you end off with him like a campfire telling somebody, because someone has to write this. So I'm tagging back onto what you're saying. Because as you can see with this with the movie, I mean with the show, no one was there to scribe. So he has to tell the story. So let's just say at the end of each season, he's now either coming back to a village, meeting up with someone who is like, yeah, I'm a friend of Joby, and Joby always comes back and tells me stories of his adventures. Keep talking, sir. Keep talking. Keep talking. And the lights just dim out as the scroll closes. That's
right.
one.
That's one. See, so you're very close to what I was thinking. So first movie plays out the same thing. Scroll closes, modern times, and I'm drawing on elements that already there exist, and so I'm not no great genius, but this is how I'm influenced. So he closed it. Second movie starts off. So Dakuan is still around there. So the government official is still with him in the background. So maybe he's making these reference to the story of Jubei, the adventures of Jubei. Season 2 now, obviously, is Ninja Scroll. There's got to be an important with Jubei for him to get set up for a bigger mission. So the bigger mission is going to be whatever it is, could be like a year later or whatever case be. Comes across anything, he tries to enlist him again. He goes, hey, this time I won't poison you, but either if I poison you this time, there's no cure because so-and-so is not around no more. So let's just do it so we don't have to go through all that. They go through that, but give me a almost simultaneous story where there's something that Jubei is looking for in the past that does affect something in the future, be it a piece of information, a location, something, and he's on his way to do it. So we're going to get more of Jubei in the past, a little bit more of his backstory with flashes to the future of a present-day ninja clan going and following the teachings of Jubei and following his steps to find whatever it is. That's all it is, right? Once again, scroll closes. Okay, Jubei finished writing a story. You see Jubei open the store, or his friend Dakuan open and it's just finished. I finished scribing this onto another scroll. Let me close this off. And see someone in the future get the scroll and says, hey, we got the second part. It's almost like a national treasure, like a treasure hunt. You know what I mean? Yeah. With ninjas. And then, of course, the third movie is really going to play out more in the future. So first movie is all Jubei in the past. Second movie is, let's say 60 to 70% past. Yes. And that other percentage is in the future, and then the third movie is the opposite, where it's 70% present day, future, present day, and the 30% is in the past, just to tie his last adventure to whatever he's looking for. So I know it's kind of pulling on Assassin's Creed vibes to a certain degree. You know how the Templars are looking for objects in the present day, but from the past. There's no machine; they're just going by what's written to get to where they need to get to put it all together. And end that up. Keep the themes going of, whatever, like being adult theme, the action, it's going to be gory. But what would be awesome, in my opinion, is to see ninjas. And that's why I like the movie Ninja Assassin, because it was ninjas trained in traditional ways in today's world, with today's technology, today's setting and scenarios, which makes it even more tangible. So you're watching something from fantasy, and next thing you know, they're walking down, Broadway in New York. You're like, wait a minute, what? They're in Manhattan. I know that they're in Montreal. Okay, I know these places. They're in Paris. I know these places. These are places that people know and recognize and say, okay, now we're outside of Japan. How does a ninja operate outside of Japan? And how do ninjas operate today? If it was done today, 2024, 2025, 2026, how do ninjas operate today? We're going from sending things by sparrow and pigeon to cell phones and what's the cryptic messages, and show how that plays into some conspiracy theories and how they use conspiracy theories to their advantage. Right.
Because the knowledge or the history of a ninja is still a lore. They say, yes, there were ninjas, and it's always seemed to have been like, not suppressed, but like, yeah, they're there. But you don't know. And that was back then in Jubei's day. So basically showing again, there's ninjas in Manhattan? Sure. You think there's ninjas in 2024, 25? Yeah. Yeah, cool. No problem. You're getting a little too close.
Yeah. How do you hide? How do you hide your history in present day? You hide in plain sight.
100%.
Right? So now back then it was misinformation, telling tall tales, word of mouth going by. How do you almost discredit it to make it seem like they don't even exist anymore? You put so much stuff out there about ninjas. And let's look at our lives today. Assassin's Creed is kind of a ninja thing, assassinations kind of going on. Everyone knows Assassin's Creed. That's kind of like, something along the line of ninjas. Then you hear the word ninja and everything, right? You got ninja blenders, food processors. You got, ninja motorcycles. So we're so much of hearing the word ninja.
That's
we
hilarious.
we are desensitized to it. So when someone says ninja, people are like, what? You mean a blender? You mean a motorcycle? Ninja, ninja, look at Ned Flanders. What was his running shoes that he liked? Assassins. It is so much in your face. We as a society become desensitized. And how do ninjas hide? By putting it out there. And then, you find out a new ninja clan. It's like, what do you do? Well, we have an IT department. What do you mean we're ninjas with an IT department? Who do you think makes all those ninja games? We do. We do.
It was the ninjas all along.
Right? It's like, hey, man, did you play that new ninja? Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Who are you playing? Sub-Zero. Who are you playing? Scorpion. What are they? Ninjas. It's so much in your face that if someone was to see someone walking down the street dressed as a traditional ninja, oh, man, it must be a movie set. Oh man, it must be a costume party. It's like, is it a costume party? Yes, it is a costume party. See you later. It's so much in plain sight that no one's going to say, hey, he's dressed as a ninja because he's really a ninja. No, they're going to say, oh, this person's dressed as a ninja. Did you get that costume? I got it from Ruby's Costumes. Yes, Ruby's Costumes. And goes about his business. Why does he talk like that? I don't know, but that's how I have it envisioned in my mind. So if you put it in present day, if someone came up to you really right now and said, hey, man, there's a ninja clan living, your next door neighbor is a ninja.
Yeah, right.
You're going to talk like the person talking to you needs to be put away in an institution because they're having a mental moment. You're not going to think,
yeah.
You're not going to think, yeah, maybe maybe it's the truth, because it's so oversaturated. And that's what I want the live action movies to play on tongue in cheek. So us as viewers go, okay, got it. But anyone in their world is going to say, ninja. They're like, oh man, I saw a ninja the other day. Oh, I mean the motorcycle? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in black. Oh yeah, I never saw a black ninja motorcycle. That's awesome. So, and I'm not making it like tongue in cheek. It's really like, think of the seriousness. If you want to get conspiracy theories, you want to get into hidden organizations, how do you hide? You hide in plain sight. You hide by putting the name out there every 2 seconds. So how do modern day ninjas earn their money? Modern day ninja clans earn their money? Well, they have an IT department. They have a development department. They have, they got ones doing video game development. They got ones doing new technology, and they always incorporate something like Ninja or Shinobi in there. You have some doing movies, right? So your props and special effects department are true ninjas. It's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this movie with Brad Pitt. Yeah, who's your stuntman? Oh, he's a stuntman. Stuntman's really a ninja. How does he get on the site? I was like, oh yeah, Brad Pitt, you're doing this movie, so we're gonna have to fly you over to Italy to film this movie, and we're gonna send the whole crew with you. So we're sending over, the principal people. We're sending over your stuntman. Oh, wait a minute, how'd you get a ninja over to Italy? He's Brad Pitt's stuntman during the day. And it was like, hey, Brad, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I'm not doing any scenes today. Okay, cool. What are you going to do? I'm going to go and do some sightseeing. Assassinate. Run back to set. Shoots his stuff. Comes back to States. Guess what? He didn't have to worry about how he got into the country. How do you get your stuff into the country? Oh, these are just props for a movie, sir. This sword, and it's a prop sword. These smoke bombs are they're just props for the movie we're working on. Oh, okay. That's how Ninja Scroll.
All right. Okay. I like that.
Right? It's like that TV show cover up that I always talk about. Like, that's okay. There we go. There we go. That's how you take that into a 1-part anime into a 3-part live action movie, respecting the source material.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I was having some mental joke fun earlier, saying like, "Yo, studios, don't forget us, put us in." Um, I wanted to somehow be the could I say the Avatar? Somehow, if I could be the cabbage merchant, I'm okay. So every time he comes back, the cabbages, the cabbages, just get me there. I'll be the cabbage merchant. That's all. I'll figure something out, man.
Exactly.
Put me the cabbage merchant. But I'll be the one in the past and Barry the one in the future. We're related. Strong bloodline.
Strong bloodline, right? Okay. That's how it comes down to. So here it is. So that's our theories.
Yes.
That's all you see. I've got this played out. I gave this one a little bit of thought. The gray matter kind of jumped up on me. Clear.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So you going
Who?
live action. I'm going live action. So who would be your Jubei? I'm not sure if you did the other two characters. I only did Jubei.
No, I just did Jubei. I just did Jubei because at that point,
who would be your Jubei character per se to play it?
It's funny. I wanted, me, but again, this is a Japanese AP. I want at least I'll always try to see if I can keep the culture as close as possible. And I was able to. I was able
All
to.
right. Okay.
So I wanted someone who's artistic and athletic and who can do fight scenes and everything like that. And I did. And I would like to choose for my bid for Andrew Koji. Andrew Koji. We know him from a couple of stuff. He's been on Bullet Train. He's been on the Fast and Furious, just as an uncredited character. But he's also been in Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, a.k.a. Tommy, a.k.a. Storm Shadow.
Top dog. All right. Good call. Good. Wow.
He's already like this. I'm saying like he was already there. He's hilarious in my mind. It's like oh gosh, I just went blank. I'm just thinking characters now. Remington Steele. Watching the show for Remington Steele was basically the foot off for James Bond. Why didn't I just went no Dalton?
Yes.
When Dalton did Remington Steele. That was James Bond.
Yeah, I mean Pierce Bronson, right? Pierce Bronson.
Bronson. Sorry, yeah,
Bronson. Yeah.
Bronson. My apologies. Yeah, Pierce
Bronson.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
So,
wow. Well done, sir. Well done. All right, so here I'm going. I want to do my fan cast right now. So my fan cast pick for Jubei, in Ninja Scroll live action to play this character. This character's been around for a while. This actor's been around for a while. And he's best known for being the leading role in Kamen Rider Den-O in that franchise. And his name is Takura Sato. So Takeru, and his last name is Sato. Sato. 32 years old, Japanese. If he's done Kamen Rider, he's up there. And he's also got an original Netflix miniseries called First Love. Which is coming out soon enough if it's not already out. So there we go. That's who I'm going for to play my Jubei. He's got a nice smile. I like his overall look. And it's not just a smile. Like he can pull off different things. He's got Kamen Rider underneath his belt, so he's very action oriented. That's who I'm going with.
Okay.
Kamen Rider. If you're familiar with that, it's like almost like Power Rangers. We did get it at one point here in North America, but it was around way longer before and after, since we got it touched here in North America at the time, right? Very much Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where they took the footage from then, brought it, kind of changed the actors who were supposed to be playing it, and then used the original footage from the original series. So there we go.
Okay,
that's my deepest fear for Ninja Scroll, how it should play out in my mind, where I'm influenced by, and that is that. On that note, any last words, Rod?
Listen, I'm telling you, this is a good. When you connect with people and you happen to mention the word Ninja Scrolls, those who are in the know, their eyes will light up, and you can have a good conversation. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Definitely get you into the lore of ninja theology in the early 90s. Giving an understanding of what was hot and what people were liking. I'm I find that you would definitely, I think you enjoy it. If you're okay with R-rated, subjects and stuff along that line, you will be like, that's yeah, they went all in. But if you have that mindset, and you're okay, it doesn't disturb you, it doesn't upset you, you can watch it. I say you enjoy it. And what we've now talked about, how we could have brought it to the modern life and just give it a different extra spin on it, I think that definitely people would appeal to them. Definitely.
Absolutely. That is awesome. I feel the same way. I'm looking to see, because I'm really wanting to see like a good modern day ninja movie. It's been too long since I've seen one. So, Ninja Assassin is what really stands out for me, and I'd love to see that come again. So on that note, this has been the Iconist podcast. The icon is Ninja Scroll. We went through that of what we liked, what we hope to see, where it could go possibly. Let us know down in the comments below. And once again, remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. As I always like to say, this whole world was started by a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. Javanish, out.
So gone.